Welcome back to Cactus Wrestling. The World Championships for men's freestyle has come to an end. Well, there's a lot to go over. We're going to recap it all and talk about some of the biggest surprises, the biggest upsets of the tournament, and compare it to how we predicted. And I don't know, we got some right, we got some wrong. We'll go over it all. But before we dive in, take a second and hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. We're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of 2023. So every like, every comment goes a long way and really helps the channel out. With that all said and done, it's time to get into the World Wrestling Championships 2023. Let's start with 57 kilos. Team USA, Zane Train.
Derailed before it even left the station. Yeah, no, the guy Rizade, the guy that he wrestled, he brought it. Like he took it to Zayn. He clearly wanted to win. Zayn, I mean, he gave up two push outs and a passivity point, and one of the push outs he didn't even like fight to stay in bounds. The other one he was defending a takedown, but like it was just I feel like him beating Gilman and making the team was like he reached his goal. He's a world team member. I don't think he had expectations for himself to actually medal. I mean, he didn't even win a match. That guy lost his next match too. Like so, like he wasn't even like he lost to like a solid, really good guy. Like he lost to a guy that only beat him.
Well, I also feel like going into Final X, it's a lot easier to prepare for a guy that you know really well. And at the world stage, you can only go off of videos. Sometimes you maybe have that experience, but Zane has not had that experience.
Well, it's funny. A lot of the guys' post-match interviews, not just Zayn, but there's anyone's post-match interview that I've seen, when people are asking them if like they prepared by like watching them, and no one watches them. None of them are watching these other guys in the world. They're like, oh, I mean, I know he's good because they did this or this, but like, no, I didn't really. I'm more focused on me, which I mean, I guess that's a good strategy. You want to make sure you're the best you can be, but
Yeah, at least I don't know, maybe have some idea of what the guy does.
yeah, I'm saying, right?
Like if he's got a mean like leg lace, you should probably be aware of that.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, no, Zayn was definitely a an utter disappointment.
But how
I know.
about the champion in this weight class?
Oh,
I mean,
Stevan.
no one saw this coming.
Yeah, no,
How many
definitely.
world champions did he take out?
So he took out two-time world champ, Olympic champ, like reigning Olympic champ, Zavaru Guev,
Yep.
um, in the quarterfinals in a come from behind victory.
9-7.
He
Yep.
he he was losing 7-2 when he came back and won. Like he scored six unanswered and then the challenge that for the last point. So like that was a wild match. And then then the next match in the semifinals, he beat
A Bakarov.
the Abakarov, the reigning 57 kilogram world champ. Um, I mean, that match was pretty much decided on his 1 4 point counter that he hit. Uh, that was basically the whole match. I mean, they were pretty dead even. Bakarov shot in, and then he managed to launch him over for four. So that was very well done. Very very savvy of him to pull that off. And then he capped it off with the returning 61 kilogram from last year from Japan, Higuchi, world champ. So he beat two of last year's world champs. And then Aguev hasn't been able to compete since the Olympics. So he's returning to competition at the Worlds and gets knocked off here by Michik.
Absolutely insane.
Could you imagine? He could have been on Team USA.
So that's something that we were talking about in our last video with Mike Long, and he was saying like he obviously wrestled for Team Serbia, and the hot take was, we don't want to see these US based guys representing other countries because they're helping the other countries out. And in this case, like Serbia got a world champion. Stefan Micic, he's, I mean, as far as I know, I think he lives full time in the US. He wrestled at Michigan. We
Yeah.
all know him from his collegiate days. I'm sure he had, he obviously
Never
has,
won an NCAA title.
yeah, he never won an NCAA title, but he's a world champion. Um, so yeah, let us know in the comments down below. What do you think about a lot of these guys, US based wrestlers? For whatever reason, maybe they don't think they can make the US team, and they decide, yeah, I can qualify for under another country. I'm just going to do that instead.
Yeah,
What do you
there's a
think about
handful
that,
of
Jonathan?
medalists. I mean, Michik was definitely the most successful of all of them, but yeah, there was a handful of medalists throughout all the weights that pulled this off. So
Darian Cruz, on the other hand, was not as successful.
yeah, I mean, the guy he lost to did make the semis. So I mean, I'd say he lost to a better guy than Richards did. But I mean, I think we were predicting Richards was going to, at best, bronze, hopefully. Um, he didn't even win a match, so that's
I
just
wouldn't be surprised if that was Zane's one chance at Team USA.
there's zero chance he makes the Olympic team because I mean I'm
Yeah, but
Vito.
he could come back for Worlds, I guess. But
Even then, I don't think because Spencer Lee will be back in the mix and he's staying at 57. But you got Vito's going to be coming down. Or he's going up. But
well,
I don't think he's going up. So he's got to be coming down, and I don't think Richards is going to touch Vito.
let's talk about Vito. I mean, we said, I think you specifically said in our last video, I don't think the world is ready for Vito.
Yeah, I don't think the world was ready for Vito. He hit them like he did NCAAs. He hit them like he did the US Open. It was it was unreal. He outscored his opponents 50-13. Like,
With nine of those in the final match.
yeah, yeah. So in the first four matches he had, he only gave up 4 points. Like, and he had three techs and then an 8-2. Like, and then even after he won the world title, like I don't know what happened in the last exchange, but he had a streak of blood coming down his forehead. Yeah, it was I mean, that finals match was pretty wild to watch too. Talk about an exciting final.
Yeah.
Um
10 to
but
9 was the final score.
yeah, I mean, but Vito looked like he was in control of every match, even that finals, even though it was close. Like he never seemed to be like getting caught up in any pressure or anything. Like he just kept wrestling. He just kept on putting up points. And I mean, hey, world champ. He beyond earned it. He was extremely dominant. I wouldn't. I almost want to say he was the most dominant of Team USA's gold, but when we get to him, I think there was someone that was slightly
I
more
think
dominant.
I think I know who you're going to talk about. We're not there yet, though. First,
Yep.
we have to talk about 65 kilos, Nick Lee, and obviously big shoes to fill with Yanni. Uh, the returning silver medalist at Worlds last year. Nick Lee took the spot. He made the quarters.
Yep.
Uh, Lost a tough match. I mean, that guy from Iran, really tough wrestler.
Yeah, he did. I mean, I watched his match. He wrestled like how he always does. Like he wrestled solid. He did. I mean, it was kind of as expected. It wasn't like, oh, he didn't wrestle well. It was. I mean, in the match he lost, he really overcommitted on his wizard defense, a wizard, and then like hipped down. Oh, maybe he learned, gave up two takedowns off of a wizard. Maybe I should make an adjustment here. No, he gives up another takedown off of a wizard defense. Like that was 6 points of the 7-4 loss. Like he was not making adjustments mid match,
No.
and like I mean, he did hit a nice 4 point move, but I mean, it was too little, too late. I mean, he was a class act though. The guy was like exhausted on the mat there breathing, and he helped him get up. But I mean, I would have liked to have seen him do more, especially considering there was a guy from the US who did better wrestling for Puerto Rico.
The best from New Jersey.
Ugh.
Yeah, what is up with these guys? Sebastian Rivera makes the finals after a
Yeah.
wild 10-9 win against the
Yeah.
Armenian guy in the
I
semifinals.
watched that. That to Vanyan, like I don't know how he blew the match. Like he was in control ahead the whole time. Like and like I mean he gave up a four like I think it was a 4 point move and then a bunch of 2 point moves and then he gave up the leg lace at the end to lose it. And I mean it was I, the guy was devastated when he lost, and I mean, by all rights, he should have been because he should have been in the finals. He was out wrestling Rivera, but it blows my mind that Rivera made the world finals and is a world silver medalist, and Nick Lee did not even get close to the podium.
And Sebastian Rivera also not an NCAA champion.
Yeah,
So it
but
just goes to show, kids, you don't need to win an NCAA title
he get that
to do
world
well at
medal.
the world stage.
Yeah.
Drop a comment down below. What do you think? What would have happened if Nick Lee wrestled Sebastian Rivera? I feel like Nick Lee would
Well,
have won.
Nick Lee wrestled Austin Gomez and he beat the crap out of him. I think he was up by like 6 or 8 before he pinned him.
Yeah, six, I think, or
Um,
10-3, 10-3.
no, so he's up by 7 when he pinned him. So, I mean, and that's Austin Gomez. Like, I mean, Gomez, who knows? He might have been able to make some noise if had he not ran into Lee.
Austin Gomez also not an NCAA champion, but
Yeah,
won. He was taking the Darian Cruz. Oh no, Darian Cruz did win an NCAA title,
yeah, Darian Cruz did.
and look how that turned out for him at the Worlds.
Well, it's as good as Zane Richards, and so
So let's talk about 70 kilos, the other Zane train. And I
the
think
Delta Station.
earlier you were saying like there was another guy that potentially was the most dominant. I think I think it might have been this guy. Is this who you had in mind?
No,
Oh,
no.
you have someone else in mind.
Yeah, oh yeah, I had someone else in mind, but we'll talk about Zane first. Um, yeah, no. So Zane, I mean, he wrestled great. I mean, he kind of like Nick Lee. He wrestled as expected. He was he looked like a monster. Like he looked so
So
big.
strong. He's so
Um,
big.
yeah. I mean, he outscored his opponents 28-7. Um, and I mean, he wrestled really well. Like, I mean, he made some mistakes. Like he didn't really defend a high crotch in the finals and got taken down. But like a true champion, he didn't let that phase him, and he just kept on wrestling, kept on scoring. And I mean, I was impressed. He a lot of composure, and he was wrestling Yazdani, the cousin,
Yep.
right? The cousin,
Yep. Yep.
yeah. In the finals there. So like Zayn, we expected him to come home with gold, and he did as advertised, which was great to actually have a guy do what we were hoping he would do. I mean, yeah, Vito did too, but like that was not as sure a thing in our heads as Zayn. Zayn was like a lock.
Yeah. I mean, the guys just looks so strong. Like you could just see his muscles popping out. And he holds that front headlock position and just squeezes it, and it feels like
Yeah.
it's just sucking the life out of his opponents.
Yeah, he looked like a monster. Yeah.
So 74 kilos. Finally, we got to see it. The
Yeah.
well anticipated Sidikov versus Dake. And
It did not disappoint. Yeah.
yeah, it went up to the hype. I mean, whew,
For
what a
sure.
match. It
I
didn't really
mean,
start it didn't really start until the second period though.
yeah, it was a what, 1-0 Dake going into the second period, and then the remaining 16 points that were scored got scored in that 3 minutes there. I mean, leading up to the finals, I was expecting Dake to be a bit more dominant. He won 12-2, 9-4, 6-4, 4-1. Like those were some close matches. I was expecting him to be kind of like a step above or beating these guys by larger margins than he did. But yeah, in the Sidakov match, I mean, he wrestled his ass off. And also, talk about a guy that's looking big. He's looking big for 74 kilograms. Like, he looks like he must be probably cutting pretty hard down there. Like, I remember looking at him compared to Sidakov, and I was like, Sidakov looks legitimately smaller than
Yeah,
Dake does.
yeah,
Um, but Dake won two different challenges in that finals match. The first one ended up with resulting in him getting points, but the second one at the end of the match really didn't make any sense to me because it's not like Sidakov was ever put in a position where he could have been giving up any points. And then even after winning it, he he actually, oh yes, you win the challenge, but Sidakov got a point or got 2 points or something. Like it was bizarre. Like I didn't understand the scoring of that challenge. Like the challenge resulted in Sidakov getting points, but Dake did the challenge.
yeah.
Um,
I think they were just doing a challenge just to like
yeah, it was that YOLO challenge
yeah,
thing. But
do it. I was really impressed with Sidakov's hand fighting. Like
yeah,
he was constantly on Dake's head, and I think that really wore on him. I think Dake looked gassed in some of his earlier matches, and I think the constant pressure that Sidakov had the entire match
yeah,
finally kind of wore down on Dake, even though he kind of did that sneak attack right off the whistle shot and was able
mm-hmm.
to take him down off of it.
Yeah,
And he was also, I was really impressed that Sidakov was able to finish his shots because Dake is really, really good at kind of reaching over the top, getting down nice and low, and then throwing
yeah,
the guys.
that's
And
true.
Dake wasn't able to do that. So
Yeah,
um,
and then they also had one of the craziest scrambles that I saw in any of those matches. I mean, that was the thing that got challenged, but like that was a wild scramble. I mean, definitely worth a watch.
yeah. So 79 kilos. We missed Jordan Burroughs. Chance Marsteller
Oh,
steps up to the plate.
oh, and then like bunts, like he freaking okay, yeah, he won his first match 7-2, and then the second match, I don't know if you watched it, but the first freaking like 20 seconds, he gets taken down and gutted twice and is down 6-0. He ends up losing 9-3. That's six of the points. Like if he didn't give up that takedown and the obviously the two guts that went with it, that would have been 3-3. I mean, granted, it would have been 3-3 criteria for the other guy, but still, like clearly this guy wasn't like step above Marsteller. It was a winnable match. And Marsteller, I don't know, like he froze at the world stage, it seems. Like you expect him to do what Jordan Burroughs does, and he fell so far short. I feel like he probably is just like a really good matchup stylistically against Burroughs, which is why he was able to beat him at Final X. But like at the world stage, like I mean, Nakoti, the returning runner up that Burroughs beat, he didn't even make the finals. Like had
Well, he lost to the
Mar-
champ though,
yes,
the
he lost
Cody.
to Usmanov, the champ. But even if Marsteller had won the match that he lost, he would have then had Usmanov in the semis.
Yeah.
And if he didn't beat Usmanov, he would have then had to beat Nakoti, who he's never scored a point on to get the bronze. So like even if he won this match that he lost, he probably still wouldn't have medaled, which is like, seriously, man? How?
Yeah, it really goes to show like I know some other countries do it where they have the wrestle off, but then they're like, oh yeah, sorry, we don't care about that. We're
Yeah.
letting this other guy wrestle.
Yeah. Well, I mean, after watching these performances, like Thomas Gilman and Jordan Burroughs, inserting those two guys seems like a no-brainer. And I mean, even though Nick Lee won what, like 3 matches, I kind of missing Yanni. He's a returning world medalist. Nick Lee fell short and let Sebastian Rivera. Not that he let him, but like, uh,
I mean, I don't really have any ideas for like another fair way to go about it, but maybe drop a comment down below. Like, is Final X a good determinant to find our Team USA team? Because I think everyone that Mike just said probably would have outplaced our reps this year.
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe there's some sort of a wacky
Have
idea.
the two that qualify for Final X do their wrestle off, but then also go to an international tournament and see who does better.
Good idea. All
That's
right. Well, I think now we're at the point where we can talk about uh the most dominant wrestler for Team
Oh
USA.
yeah, no, this is who I had in mind, David
I
Taylor,
forgot when I said
100%.
Zane, I forgot. I don't know how I forgot, but I forgot.
I
David
mean,
Magic Man Taylor. I mean, did he pin his way through?
no, 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 no. He pin tech pin.
So pin teched. He didn't have a 6 minute match ever.
No,
Yeah.
his first match was 14 seconds.
Yeah, that was just unbelievable. And the guy like slammed the mat too.
Oh, I had him. Yeah, no. So David Taylor outscored his opponents 40-5, and 3 of those 5 was against Giussani in the finals. Um, like he was beyond a step above. This is why this guy won the Hodge twice. He knows how to score. He knows how to be dominant. Um, I mean, yeah, granted, in the Yazdani match, there was a challenge that he won where it was initially scored that Yazdani was going to be up like 5-1, and then it got flipped around so that Taylor was up 5-3. So had he not won that challenge, I mean, it's a very different complexion of match. But if this, even with the score being flipped like that, Taylor still ends up scoring 4 points. Yazdani scores 2 and gets pinned. But I mean, the one thing I will say for Yazdani is he kind of pulled himself onto his back with pulling Taylor onto him. Like, I mean, he was kind of trying to throw him, but like, I'd almost argue he pinned himself.
He pulled a
Like,
Mikey Labs.
yeah, he pulled a Mikey Labs, and like instead of rolling onto his back with a Granby, he kind of like was on his butt, locked the body lock there, and then like just let me pull my. Oh wait, this is not good. I'm going to my back. Like, I mean, that first period, it was like I was like, oh, this could go either way. Like this, especially after before the challenge got reversed. Like, yes, Donnie's coming. He's bringing it. And then he really didn't bring it the second period as much. Um,
Yeah, I think that makes their overall record what 5-1. I think Taylor is now against him. Yes.
yeah, he's only lost to him once, and I mean, yeah.
And Miles Amin
Oh yeah,
takes
Miles Amin was also
bronze.
a medalist. Yeah,
He lost to Yazdani, who obviously made the finals. He lost to Yazdani 7-2 for San
yeah.
Marino. So,
I mean, and he's a U.S. guy, and he's taken down David Taylor at the Olympics. So
and I mean, we'll probably see them potentially match up at the Olympics because
that's true. Yeah,
Amin will be 100% for San Marino.
yeah, yeah. Cool. I mean, I don't blame Amin. I don't think he's beaten Taylor for the spot, so he
Yeah, but
wouldn't have.
Michik has Michik even tried against Gilman?
No. Michika's never tried to be for Team USA. He's just immediately, I'm Team Serbia. Thank you very much.
Hey, good for him. Good for him. All right. Well, we got a couple more weights right here. So Zahid Valencia, he was kind of a toss up. I think we were expecting big things, but it was really kind of hard to tell, especially since this isn't his weight class. He bumped up just to get the spot. He got a medal. He got a bronze. I
I mean,
mean,
I watched a couple of his matches, and I mean, his bronze medal match, he really hustled. I mean, he teched the guy, but like he hustled. He was after it. I don't think he was accepting anything but winning that match. And then I mean the match he lost, he kind of lost because he was dumb. Like he was on all fours and he tried to like it was 1-1 in his favor. He was winning on criteria on all fours and he like just dove towards the legs. Like it was like an unnecessary risk. And the guy spun behind for two. And then like I mean, he did something similar to that later in the match to give up two more. But like you're winning. Why are you gonna take a crap shot from two knees? It,
Well, that's what he
he could
does.
have
That's
won
his
it.
whole style. He
Yeah, but
wrestles on his knees.
yeah, but it wasn't even like a good shot from his knees. He was like he jumped forward and the guy jumped in the air and spun behind. Like it was like Zahid, you could have won that, and that guy made the finals. Like, I,
Yeah. Well, I mean, I can't imagine David Taylor being around for too many more years. So Zahid could definitely be the guy to fill in. Maybe Aaron Brooks at 86. Or sorry, at
Mike would say
yeah,
Aaron Brooks
86.
100%.
Well, Aaron Brooks might bump up. Who knows?
Oh, that's true.
That's true. Uh, but I mean, good things from Zahid. I think it's only looking good for his international career moving
Yeah.
forward. 97 kilos. Ooh, Kyle Snyder,
Oh
our
god.
lone one seed. I really think he took this guy too lightly. I watched his post interview where he was like, I don't really care about bronze medal.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
And he was like, yeah, I don't know. I knew he was kind of tall and he was a good wrestler, but they called him kid. He's like the kid won it. So I really think he was taking him too lightly. And this
Yeah.
guy, I mean, he tossed him twice. I mean, the second time it was nice. It
Yeah.
was
No, I he
pretty.
used his momentum against him like really well.
Yeah. I don't know how old this guy is. He definitely does look younger.
He's
Um,
20.
yeah, 20 years old. I mean, oof.
Yeah.
And he's not your typical kind of like brute. Like he's kind of tall and lanky. Kind of like
Yeah.
Sidikov, I would say. Maybe that's not a
Oh,
fair
yeah, I guess maybe
in
a
terms of
bigger
like body
build.
style,
Yeah.
but um
He
I
trained
yeah,
um
I was just gonna mention that.
yeah, he trained under Sedulayev at Sedulayev's training school.
So
Like
what happened there? He was what, part of Russia or something, and then he fled the country to go to
I
Bahrain.
don't know if it's he fled or he just moved or what, but now he's yeah. So he was training under Sedulayev and then yeah, now he's not.
Well, he beat Sajalayev in the semis.
Yeah, and I mean, he was beating him. Like there was no question. Then happened to be an injury after that. Like he was up like I think the final score of the match was like 9-3 when he injury defaulted out. It was at least 7-3 when the injury happened. So there was no question that to Taz Hudinov should be in the finals. Like there was no question at all. Like he wrestled phenomenally. I mean, he took out two freaking legends. Um,
Yeah, if there was a most outstanding wrestler, I think it's between him and David Taylor
or Michik.
or Michik.
Michik
But
took
just
out
these
three.
him and Taylor though, they had just such dominating wins though. Michik, they were all close.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, Tezhudinov did get a fall in the finals when he was up 8-1. Um, so I mean, Snyder's performance really was underwhelming for me. Like he clearly made no adjustments after getting tossed. Like he got tossed, and then what's he do? He gets in a shot and he just runs wild to try and finish, and the guy uses the momentum against him. And then you'd think he'd learn from that in his next match, but he didn't because the guy in his 10-6 win in the repechage did like he shot in and was able to score off of his momentum. Like it's like this is what's costing you points and matches. Like
Yeah, he's got some things to work on.
yeah, I mean, come on, guy, you're like clearly you'd kill me in a match, but like I kind of expect more from you, man. You're winning world titles sometimes. And then I mean, yeah, okay, he got bronze because he got the forfeit over Sedulayev. I mean, I don't know that he would have won had he actually had to beat Sedulayev. So like I feel like he was just gifted a bronze. Like, which might be kind of why he's like, I don't care about bronze. Cause like he might not really feel like he earned it. I mean, even though he did get 2 techs, but like I don't know. I, he had even though he did make the podium, he of all the medalists, I think he had the most underwhelming performance. I mean, he
Yeah,
even said it. He wanted gold. He should have had gold. So
yeah. And going into our last weight, 125 kilos, Mason Paris. He showed up. He
he
showed up.
came
He
to
gave
wrestle. Yeah,
Petroshvili a run for his money. Um,
he should have beat him.
yeah, he
He
really should have.
blew it. He
Yeah.
really did. Like oh, that was disappointing.
I don't think I was really expecting him to make it that far. I mean, he took bronze.
Yeah, I mean, I was hopeful that he would get bronze. And then after seeing him wrestle Petroshvili, I was like, "There's no way he doesn't bronze. Like he should have been in the finals. And if he was in the finals, maybe he would have pinned Zare again. You know, who knows?
Exactly. He would have pinned Zaire again because he's done it once before.
Yeah, yeah, it happened once, so it happens every time they wrestle. Um,
Even though Zaire teched
yeah,
Petrovelli.
yeah, didn't give up a point to Petroshvili. Um, but yeah, I mean, he came to wrestle. He did great, especially for his first senior worlds. Like he could definitely be Team USA's representative. I feel like for several years to come, unless the WWE uses their contract and snatches him out from under us like Gable. But
Yeah, they already took away one heavyweight. Leave us one other one.
leave us Paris. Come on,
Yeah.
world bronze medal.
Team USA ends up winning gold, 148 team points. Iran took second, 108, and Georgia took third with 80. So I mean, great performance all in all for Team USA.
I
Gold
mean,
medal.
the funny thing is, even despite Team USA winning and getting the gold as a team, I'm like underwhelmed with their performance. I'm like, they could have done so much better. Like, could you imagine if Gilman and Burrows were in there? That's 2 more medals. Like, and
Yeah.
or even if Yanni was in there at 65, he might have medaled.
Or if Michik was on Team USA.
Yeah, then that would have been another gold. Instead of 3 golds, it would have been 4 golds.
Even Sebastian Rivera on Team USA.
Well, yeah, I mean, Sebastian Rivera and Team USA, that would have been silver medals. So yeah. Uh,
So drop a comment down below. Who do you think was the MOW of the World Championships? I don't think they give one out, but who
no,
do
they
you
definitely
think
don't
was the
think so.
most dominant, most impressive wrestler overall? I think we kind of narrowed it down to 3 guys. David Taylor, forget the guy's name, the guy that beat Snyder,
Oh,
Tazdia
Taz Hudinov.
Tezhudanov, or Stevan Michik for beating 3 world champs.
I mean, it's funny because Taylor was probably the most dominant, but then Michik had the most impressive wins, but then Tez Hudinov kind of had a mix of both.
Yeah, I really could go to any of them.
Yeah, so, I mean,
I mean, I got to go
one
Team
criteria.
USA, baby, David Taylor, but let us know down below. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. And thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. We are Cactus Wrestling, and we'll see you next time on our next video.